My name's David Morgan. My wife Janet and I, we farm here at Raincliff Station with our family. It's in South Canterbury, South Island of New Zealand. So there's about 4,500 head of deer on the farm altogether. And we've just lifted our staff 25%. In other words, we've gone from 3 to 4. We're a pretty young industry as well. We're only 30 years of age, really, or just over. But as a smaller industry, the fortunate thing there, we are quite nimble on our feet. That's why I enjoy the relationship that I have with Mountain River, because we can be reasonably nimble and we can do things what the consumer wants. Well, it starts off with the breeding, so that's one thing. So you get the breeding right. Then the infrastructure of your farm, so the animals are stress-free. Have the fencing in the right place, the gates in the right place, not in too big a mobs, not stress from peer pressure. So that comes down to good stockmanship, taking out animals if you think they're just under a little bit of pressure. Good quality feed, which is the best grass, the best conserved feed. We want to do the right thing by the farm and by Mountain River processors as well, and that so that ends up being a good product at the other end. We've gone to a fair bit of pain to put concrete floors in, drainage, and then cover the concrete floors with rubber matting. And that's really good for the deer. It stops them panicking. So if somebody walks in and wants to look around the farm, we shouldn't really be ashamed of anything we're doing here. And I'm quite lucky, all three, the two girls and my son are really keen to be involved with the rural sector, which is a good thing. I've got this vision of planting some of the gullies out with manuka and kanuka and some cabbage trees. Running through the middle of the farm, we'll have about 8 kilometres of double fencing, has a sort of filtration. And I've just left the old native grasses grow, and I think that's as good a filtration as you'll get. If I wanted to put a time on that, it'd most likely be the grandchildren taking the fences back down to let the stock run under the trees. So, there's a little bit of hybridising between nature and modern farming. So, you can't go back to being archaic, but you've got to be careful where we're going. My youngest daughter, Millie, she bends a lot that way with the environment, and she keeps me honest, which is quite a good thing. I'm not sure. She's mad then, in other words. I pinch myself most days that I'm lucky to be living here. And I'm lucky that the kids want to live here as well. They don't want to go elsewhere. And I think that's why we like dealing with Mountain River. They're a smaller family-orientated type business, and I quite like that, and that's what I told the chefs all in the States. When you can pick the phone up and talk to the buyer, the plant manager, the processing room manager, and they remember your children's first names, it sort of means a bit more than just being another supply number. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy dealing with good people.